Alright, installed the Traxxtion Dynamics engine guard, skid plate, whatever you want to call it. Putting it back together. On the right side, my plastic and everything fits together. It's like it was when it came off. Everything is a brand new bike. Everything was fit together perfect. They're mainly talking about this seam right here. But if you look across the bottom, it's kind of lumpy. And if you look on this, the right side, looking from underneath, might have to bring the light around here. I'll show you where the problem is anyway. On this side, it's not fitting together. Quite a big gap right here. And I believe the problem is it's hitting the bracket for the skid plate right there. If it came back, it would close this gap up and I wouldn't be crooked across the front. So I guess I've got to take everything back apart and I'm going to try to grind that bracket off and we'll see if that solves the problem. I'm a little disappointed. A lot of people swear by Traxxtion Dynamics and don't know what to make of it. We'll see what happens. All right, I've got it back apart. And you can actually see on the cover where it was hitting. Right there. So I'm going to go back and look at Max's video. I mean, I could notch the cover. This is going to be easier than grinding a bunch off of this. But if we're going to take it all apart, I'm going to go ahead and probably grind off both sides, just because I can. I don't want any problems later. All right, I've got it back apart, and you can actually see on the cover where it was hitting. Right there. So I'm going to go back and look at Max's video. I mean, I could notch the cover. This is going to be easier than grinding a bunch off of this. But if I got to take it all apart, I'm going to go ahead and probably grind off both sides, just because I can. I don't want any problems later. We'll see what happens when it goes back together and not hitting. Alright, slid the pan back, got everything back apart. Looking, I don't know if I can get it in the video. You have to excuse me, I'm not by far no videographer's type dude. Oh, I can't even find where it is in the camera. Alright, there we go. Due to the location of the last screw, which is right here, and where I need to cut, where the problem lies, if I was watching this video, I'd be sick of it. I'm trying to show you why I'm going to do what I'm going to do. There we go, there we go. That's much better. I'm afraid there's not enough meat left. I don't know how to get it in. There we go. Let me stick one of these screws in there and give you an idea. There's not much meat left. If I cut the corner off of that bracket, let me pause this and I'll get some screws in there. Alright, here's the bracket with the screw in it. I'm not sure how much I need to get out of that bracket. But I don't have much left in that corner. So if I go chopping off this corner, and these screws do not go very far up in it, I'm beginning to think I'm going to be better off taking a little bit out of my cover. It's on the bottom of the bike, underneath. I don't think anyone's ever going to see it. That would bother me a lot less than I'm afraid I need to take more than what I can be allowed to still be able to get that screw back in under the bike. And it may just be the way my cover's made, because it looks See, this side comes around straight in. This one comes around. Got quite a bit extra over here compared to the other side. So this may be something Honda changed. Well, I don't know. I'm going to try taking a little bit out of this cover right here. And we'll see what happens. Alright, actually with the pan off. This was a good way to you can actually see a lot better what's happening. Or you can kind of, there we go. I've already took a little bit off. And I'm still hitting. So I'm going to looks worse than fit on the camera up close. It will not. Take a little more off back here. Even it out. The other side, I mean, up top, better view. Not really. The other side has tons of room. I don't know about tons, but this side, you can see there's movement. The other side is tight as it can be. I'll pull it back off and I'll show you what I'm using a file, actually a wood rasp. I mean, I could use a Dremel tool. This is what I'm using. I could use a Dremel tool, but sometimes I get a little carried away with them. Here's the old 5. Hairy dog. Good old boy. And there's Sally. He's the puppy. They help me every chance to get. Well, better get off and I'll show you what I'm doing to it. Alright, I got it back off. Mark where it needs to come out. I'm just going to file some nice and easy. Try to round it up a little bit. It's hard to see. I mean, you can see where it's cut down here. I took that much out back to here. I'm going to try to round it out and keep it look decent. Let's see what happens. We'll be right back. All right. A little update. I'll pull it off and give you an idea how much I've kind of milled out of it. Still hitting. Want to give it a little bit of a gap. I mean, the motor, it's a Honda, but the motor still vibrates some. But now, it's gone back and the other side is hitting. So I'm going to take a little more out of here. And because I'm getting kind of tired of taking it on and off, which is not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and take a fuzz out of the other side. I think we might be there. All right. Turn this down light thing on here and listen. Commercial. All right, this bike's brand new. I picked it up with 1 mile on it. I drove it straight home, waiting on this plate to come in, because as I said in the other video, first thing that happened when I got that one was I smashed into a speed bump. So this started out it's a pretty good, and it came here and circled up into that. So I've cut a fair damn amount out of it. I just put it back up there, it's still hitting. Now this side's hitting. So I'm going to try to file that out straight. I'll go ahead and cut a little bit out over here. Sorry. Cut a little bit out over here. Cut more over here. And hopefully we'll be good. Well, we'll see. All right, we've notched a little bit out of this side. A whole damn bunch out of this side. I'm going to stick it back up there again and see how it fits. And we'll clean it up. It's got all damn plastic bits stuck all over it. Definitely would have been, well, I'm glad I didn't take it all apart. I was going to take the bracket off and try cutting the corner, but then after seeing how close the screw was, I wanted to keep 4 screws in the bracket. I'll put it up there and see what happens. All right, I got everything, not everything, but I got the cowl back on finger tight. All 4 screws. Where across the bottom, originally, first time I put it on, I'll go back and find it was really crooked. It was all cockeyed. Now it's very, very straight, as I would anticipate it to be. And I really didn't have to cut a lot out of this side, whereas I had to, I keep saying cut, I filed, I don't want to be, it's still pretty tight. I could have, excuse the dog, you hear the knocking. She's nuts. This side, I look for the screw. I cut a lot. Originally was going to try to grind that bracket. I would have had to cut that whole screw off. There's not much gap there. The other side's pretty damn tight. We're going to put the rest on and see if that closes up the gap we had. I'm definitely much happier with the way it fits now. Because originally it didn't look right. It didn't look even. Now at least to the bracket, it looks really nice. It's not crooked. Just hopefully these gaps and everything fit back together better than they were. We'll see. Get back to you. Alright, got everything back on except the fog light covers, and I haven't put the pan back. It's all brackets there, but the gap across the bottom, after chopping quite a bit off the cover, is damn near perfect. Even on both sides, very happy. The connections, seams on all the panels are perfect, beautiful. Everything snapped together, no giant gaps like I had. fog light cover to kind of tuck that up where it should be. I'm sure. But before it was horrible. That side not so bad. This side was really bad. Now it's not a dirt catcher. That was my main concern before. I mean, I was thinking anything that came up was going in. And it's perfect now. And absolutely perfect. But I did wind up taking a pretty good chunk out of the cover. Probably could have took a little more out of the other side. But I don't think that would have. I only had to take a very little bit out of this side. Looks like there's a little bit of play, so that's not hidden. Well, let's get the fog light covers on and put the pan back under it, and have any more problems, I'll let you know. Alright, final video. It's all back together, pan's back on. Line across the front is very, very nice now. Originally it was really out of whack. You can't see where it was, where I had to file it down. It took a good 3/4, almost the thickness of the bracket on this side. It took a good amount off this side, a little bit off the other side. All my gaps, and where I had a giant gap on this side before, I mean it's all fitting perfect. Both sides. 30-minute install. No. Maybe if I knew ahead of time that I had to file that down, I mean, I could have went ahead and wouldn't have it halfway back together and get where I really didn't. This side was fitting together awful. I had a giant gap. I had to do something. Time will tell. I mean, if you hit something exactly the right height, or maybe the case would have skid over it. I don't know. Good product, yes. When you go back together, as sexy as it was when you started, work with a little bit. It's not necessarily plug and play. Hope I helped someone out.